It's a nice day outside. And this is the last of the classic series. And yet, what a way to go out. And before we start, all I have to say is it's time! It's time for the Super Bowl. Hey guys, Juju22 here, and I'm going to set this thing up. Not sure how you guys are doing today. Oh, got the notification there. Cool. Hey, there's Spike Ryan. Okay. Let me get this thing ready. I had a nice dinner. There we go. Had a nice dinner. And now it all comes down to this. You have the oh, I had the wrong team. All right. And first up, yeah, I'm happy that the show went well. I really did. And okay. And let me make sure everything else is good. Now I just need to let other people know that the Super Bowl's about to start. But yeah, after this is where the real work begins, so. But yeah, it all comes down to this. So, let's get it ready. I had something in my teeth. Hey, Primetime, what's up? Well, good thing. Oh, I was about to get you, but you're here. Okay. Game style. No, not that one. Super Bowl. There it is. And because it is the Super Bowl, we're going to go to 10 minutes a quarter. Okay, everything else looks good. All right, cool. I'll start it in the 5-minute mark, but I'll let other people know. Except for maybe Mr. Vince, if only because I don't have a way to contact him. But I'll still let everybody else know. Oh. There we go. All right. Now, let me get Azrael and everybody else. Oh, yeah. Well, it was really good. I had a nice dinner at Mel's. I went to Mel's. Really good diner. It's one of my favorite places to go. Not all the time, obviously. I can't always eat there, but when I'm able to, it's awesome. I enjoy it. Oh, I had the prime rib with shrimp. Which I myself don't always get, but it was good. Yeah, it was really good. Steak and shrimps. It was good. All right. And then let me get Azrael. Oh, there's Atticus. Welcome to the House of Black Super Bowl, or the House of Black Explode. Which obviously is nothing new. And then, oh yeah, and then, of course, patty cakes. Anyway, excuse me. Not sure why I'm coughing all this much, but... Okay. And then there's Patty. All right. Well, I guess I don't want to take up too much time. But it's not that long of a game, especially when there's 10 minutes a quarter, but I don't want to take up too much time, but let me just get everybody else ready. Including, of course, Arkham 500.
Today, from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Watching the Twins-Red Sox game, Detroit moved into a tie for second place with KC earlier and are a half game ahead of Minnesota. Awesome.
It's the Green Bay Packers taking on the Cleveland Browns.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports.
And who else? Oh yeah, that's right, Brandon. Can't forget Brandon.
For the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Cleveland Browns taking on the NFC champions, the Green Bay Packers. Brandon Gaudin joined by Charles Davis on what could be a historic day in the city of Cleveland. It's their first ever appearance in a Super Bowl.
And it's taken nearly 60 years to get back to playing for an NFL title. You have to go back to 1964 to find their last championship. So you're
wow,
right.
1964.
A once-in-a-lifetime occurrence in Cleveland.
And meanwhile, for the Packers, not many could have predicted they'd make it back to this Super Bowl, but everything has gone their way, and they search for what would be their second title of the millennium.
And that title, Super Bowl 45 in Dallas, or actually Arlington, Texas, so I don't get in trouble with the locals, over Pittsburgh. A proud franchise continuing to find ways to get to the big game.
Yep. And of course, there's Patty. In fact, all right, so Patty's going to kick it off, and the Browns will start with the game. And I have to think that for Patty, the fact that she's going up against her man whilst teaming with his brother has got to be surreal. If that's not enough, just the fact that Crushing Kelly is in the press boxes. You know those little press boxes that you watch the game from? That's where she's watching it from. Here in Las Vegas, Nevada, not California. I'm so stupid.
And off we go from Las Vegas.
And then, and then finally, Munchie.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
And of course, it all starts with Azriel Black with the Browns, and you know, he was key in not panicking and making good decisions when the chips were down. But can he do it against his brother? And could he also do it against this defense? And with that, oh yeah, that's right, Munchie. Hey, well, there you are at Azriel. Njoku with 9 yards to start it out. Welcome to the Super Bowl. And welcome to the House of Black Explode. What was I? Oh yeah, that's right. Munchie.
Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
And gives it to primetime Sean Sanders. They get the 8-yard gain.
That one a first down pickup of 8.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
You're a hey.
They'll go again with Sanders. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Oh, right. Let me get my pop-out chat.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
All right, so 2nd and 11. They hand it off.
Hand off to Ford up the middle.
And they give it to Ford, and they get just enough forward progress to get a first down. Okay, seriously? What's wrong with the...
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
What the heck is wrong with my internet?
I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it.
Let me know if you guys can hear me. It's so weird.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
They hand it off.
Left, it's Sanders.
Oh, Sanders with a big run. Okay, cool. See, I wasn't sure because my For some reason, my internet's acting weird. I don't know why.
So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
And Azrael with a quick pass for 5 yards.
Be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
And once again, Deshaun Sanders. So far, Sanders is pulling a Marshall Faulk. He's running the ball and receiving. There you see Munchie, number 20, 58, I should say. Can't talk.
But they must like the matchups they're getting.
This is Ford.
And Ford with a run.
Take this down just shy of the 25.
Got a 3rd and 2 at the 26.
The 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places.
Seriously?
And not
What's
allowing
with this?
any lanes to open up.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Sanders.
Sanders with another run and another completion. So far, Cleveland effectively running the ball.
And that'll be enough. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
I mean, for the Browns, it's either going to be Azrael or primetime Sean Sanders. It could very well be him.
It hasn't been working.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked that Carolina finally won a game. What I'm not shocked about is the fact that it was the Raiders who they lost to, or they beat, I should say. Excuse me.
Throwing on 1st down. Black.
Another completion and 5 more yards.
So give them 5 yards there.
What is it with my freaking internet, man?
2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down.
Like,
he located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break.
I always get annoyed when my internet doesn't work the way it should. It's like, come on. It's getting... Like, this should be simple. Like, it's called work the way it should. And then, well, that's out of bounds.
Not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big
all right, so 3rd and 5.
From the gun on 3rd down. Black.
And... oh, intercepted!
Intercepted.
Oh, they were doing so well, but a bad pass, and Ford intercepted it.
From a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
That was...
oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even...
yeah, Ford was right in front of it.
But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one, and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
So now it's the Packers.
Well, now it's going to go to Atticus Black.
Look at a guy, definitely got a little razzle-dazzle to him. Can do it with his arm or his legs. Their mobile QB.
As we begin the Super Bowl,
yeah, but in this case, it's nice outside. I just don't know why my internet's acting like shit. Sorry if I'm saying it, but I just get annoyed when it doesn't work the way it should. It's like, come on.
It keeps everyone focused on the task at hand.
Throwing to start the drive.
And, well,
this will be incomplete.
Well, I mean, that was a good throw, but just could not hold on.
Not a great start
all right.
dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Okay, so hopefully my internet starts working.
To throw again.
I mean, it thankfully it's working with the stream, so it's not like...
that time, and he's going to go down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
All right, so video's running fine. All right, that's good. It's just that it's on my end, really. But, okay.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got return, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline.
All right, so 3rd and 14. I apologize for not focusing on the game as much as I should. All right, so 3rd and 14 at the 16 of Green Bay. A completion. And Jones, he tried to get to a first down, but he couldn't.
They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker, that the defense almost relaxed and said,
that's true.
Got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the 4th down.
I'd have to restart my freaking computer. I don't know why it's doing this.
The Packers punter, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon.
And a punt. And they'll start at the 30.
39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Cleveland offense making their way out. Remember last time out, they threw the interception on their first drive.
Okay, so I guess while I have to restart my computer, hopefully that works.
Yeah, one great way to judge a defense.
But now it's 1st and 10 at the 30 for Cleveland. So far on both series, one series ends on a interception, and then the other ends on a punt. So far the defense is 1 for 1, both sides. And then, you had to say something, primetime. So now, unfortunately, somebody got injured.
Get a report from Vegas after this.
And it's Willis Jr. And well, there you see Louis Levanquer on the defense for Green Bay. Of course, Levanquer was instrumental in the Saints winning a championship at the time.
This 2nd and 4.
Jimmy Christmas.
Operating from the gun. Black.
I don't.
Right back to Njoku.
Well, anyway, Njoku gets a first down at the 41.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game
here
early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it.
Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't as real, but still, I wouldn't want to win. I wouldn't want anybody else to get.
Also, if they start to creep up,
Never speak. Yeah, of course.
Now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those.
And a no gain this time, 2nd and 10.
The line of scrimmage, just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And Sanders powers his way through to get 6 yards, though. I think you meant to say Jiminy Christmas.
So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They
yeah, it's Jiminy Cricket. Or Christmas, yeah.
That defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long.
And Azrael going to go. Oh, that could have been picked off again.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a
that almost got picked off again.
Harmlessly to the turf.
Okay, all right, finally my internet works again. I just don't know why it wasn't working the way it should.
The Browns send out their punter now. Jaden Reed is deep for Green Bay. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, yeah, right at the 15-yard line here.
There we go.
Packers offense here.
Yeah, so far the defense is what's it's all going to come down to which defense cracks.
We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves you out that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Steps away to his left.
And, oh, nice run.
Nice gain with a slide at the end. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here. 1st and 10.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
On 1st and 10, Black. Fights him.
And wow, Atticus getting swallowed up by Zach Smith and one other guy.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket.
I'm also, I guess you could say I'm DMing somebody. So if you're wondering why I'm not talking very much, that's why.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to get my pop-out chat. What am I doing? All right, 2nd and 13 at the 23. They hand it off.
This is Aaron Jones.
But, man, Cleveland is doing so well. Actually, both teams are doing pretty well defensively. I mean, Green Bay, at one point, it looked like they were going to give up the first touchdown, but then they got an interception.
Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it.
So you have several tackles for loss, indeed, and sacks, too.
When a guy is disrupting your running game.
There's AJ. Oh, AJ, I hope it isn't what I think it is, but just know that, like, AJ, just know out of character. Like, we all go through difficulties, and I'm not saying this to downplay it, but I am saying this because I've been there before, and I know that, you know, there's always going to be difficult times, and it all comes down to how you handle it and what you do. But just know that bad times never last.
Now is the Packers punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt. And this is
However,
a good kick as well.
You do have friends, and that much I will tell you.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And
anyway,
1st and 10 as they take over.
I mean, this might just come down to a battle of field position.
To take over here.
1st and 10 at the 33 for Cleveland.
But I suspect some action on the scoreboard.
But yeah,
as they start out here
I just want AJ to know that, you know, I know that.
They start on the ground here at Sanders.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
35. It'll be
See, I didn't want to say it, but I just knew that AJ was feeling down.
No cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
They'll come up 2nd and 7.
Yeah, absolutely prime time. Doesn't surprise me, really. Anyway, another rush, and now we have 3rd and 5 at the 38.
You're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Of course. Like, oh, Ooh, that could have been intercepted, but again, defense on both sides is killing it. Yeah, they should. I mean, did Dak Prescott deserve a little bit more money? Yes. But did he deserve that much money? That's questionable, really. And a bad kick, but it's somehow still manageable though. It's still manageable. So Green Bay will go up again, and let's see if Green Bay can crack the code. They almost did, but not quite.
0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears?
Yeah, join the club. And it's sad too because the Jets weren't always like this. Like, I have
switch over though to an offensive mindset
like
for a moment. What do they need to do here to
my oldest uncle before he passed away was a Jets fan, and he remembers he remembers winning Super Bowl III, which was eons ago. But he remembers like in the years leading up to it, and even just a few years after. But when they had Joe Namath, and he was at the height of his power. Oh, wait a minute! What a play! What a toss by Azriel Black! 47 yards on that one play to Dobbs. And, well, that's the end of the first half, or not first half, first quarter. It's still 0-0 thanks to the defense, but will it remain like this? Let's find out.
The NFL on EA Sports continues right after this message.
But yeah, back to AJ though. I just want AJ to know that I've been there. Like, I remember, like, without going too much into detail myself, I remember I fell in love with somebody, and I had never fallen in love before. And they say that, you know, you do crazy things when you're in love. And that's what I did. You know, of course, this was like long before I was. I mean, this was like a few years before I started streaming. But I just remember how I felt. Like, because I put myself out there, and gets the pass off, a first down, and just short at the 1. But, you know, I put myself out there, which was ironic because that's exactly what she told me that I should do when I first met her. I did that, and what happened? We fell out. I mean, obviously, there's a lot more that goes into that, but to say that I was devastated, I know how it feels, AJ. I know. And Dillon runs it in, and Green Bay gets the job done.
The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop it.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side.
I mean, it was bad, but it never got to the point where I wanted to punch somebody or hurt somebody. But still, it's all about trying to understand both sides of things.
The call is to go for one and kick
of course,
the extra point.
And that's what I also have to try to understand that too.
And it's good
but
to make it
still.
7-0 Packers. The drive summary that time, 5 plays.
But despite all that, you're right. I never did stop caring. I never stopped at, you know, some people might say, or somebody might ask me or say, well, TJ, if this person isn't your friend, why do you care? It's because I do. I said, so you want to be their friend? And I said, no, I don't want to be their friend. I am their friend. But anyway. Yeah, unfortunately, the Commanders didn't make it. I mean, they were close. They were close several times to have won that semifinal game, but they didn't. Anyway, Green Bay does take the lead, and Cleveland will now have to respond, which means they're going to have to find a way to crack the code that is the defense for Green Bay.
7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down.
But as far as AJ is concerned, just take solace in the fact that you're not the only one. I know it's hard. I'm not going to hold you to that. But just know that you have me, and you have your other friends. You have your friend Swayze. You have Arkham and everybody else there, AJ. My only hope is that your friend of 10 plus years realizes that what they're doing is hurting you, but on the other hand, that and if it takes her getting hurt or him, I'm not sure, but whoever it is, not that I want to wish anything bad upon those people, but if that's what it takes for them to realize how much you're hurting, so be it. But I'm not going to wish upon a star for that. All I wish is for AJ the person to just to know that we're here for him, and that he is his own man. That's all I will say. And also, hey, what's up, Arkham 500? How you doing, man? By the way, your boy, your good friend Louis LeBanquer is on the field. Hopefully we can get a good look at him. And so far, by the way, he's on the Green Bay Packers, the team in green. But how's it going there, Arkham?
Nice linebacker play.
And Brandon, too.
This offense on third down today.
3rd and 7 at the 37.
This is 3rd and 7.
They hand it off, but they cannot get a first down.
A third down pickup of 5.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Okay, not a problem. I wasn't sure if you were going to do your show, but if you did, and obviously if you were doing your show now, I would have been like, or even before then, I would have been like, all right, I'm going to hold off until Queens of Wrestling's done. Or if you haven't done it yet and you were going to do it, I'd be like, hey, let's have this program be the lead into it. But okay, it's all good. It's all good. So Green Bay now takes over the ball, and they will take over at the 30. They already lead 7-0.
Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Oh, yes, that's right. Arkham has his own move. Well, in character he does.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 30.
And you know what? I wish for AJ and also for Arkham IRL to get himself a boo. Wish nothing but the best, man. Anyway, 2nd and 5. Also, let me readjust my seat here. Ugh. They hand it off. And did they get a first down? They do. So far, the defense and the run game for Green Bay is paying off dividends. In fact, those were the very things that helped Green Bay win the last game. And that's going to be the key to this game. That if Cleveland's going to win, they're going to have to stop the run and just and then find a way to crack the defense. That's what they have to do, which is easier said than done, but it can be done.
That's just a helpless feeling for a running back there. He's looking up to find a hole, and all he finds is a whole lot of ticked-off linebacker.
Yep, they did. Yep. 2nd and 12.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Back to throw.
And a completion. Oh, but that time Cleveland was able to
3rd and 7 now.
Call the right defensive play to force a 3rd down.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. To throw on 3rd down.
And you know what? Speaking of booze, Louis Lebanquier isn't alone. I mean, he brought his boo, Liliana Ladrona. And as a matter of fact, Lily is one of the cheerleaders on the Packers.
Must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit.
Yep, Brandon Cuevas is here.
Back inside.
Yeah, of course, Braden Cornwell, we call him Spike Ryan, or Ryan, if you will. All right, now first and 10 at the 47. They hand it off again. Jones with about 4 yards on that.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. It was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd down and 6 now.
2nd and 6.
Operating from the
Atticus. What? Intercepted!
That's going to be intercepted.
And, of course, Atticus was quick enough to stop Walker, but, wow, that was just a great play by Cleveland, and now Cleveland gets an extra possession.
I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's
and that pass was intended for Cuevas.
a lot of fire from these guys, really on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this.
Wow, what a turn of events, and now Louis has to go back out there and go on defense.
Maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Wow, intercepted. Now 1st and 10 at the 42. They hand it off to primetime Sean Sanders, and they get 5 yards on that one. Always good to get 5 yards on a run.
Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did.
And, and then Spike Ryan has a kayfabe sister named Brenda that you can get for Queens of Wrestling. And then Donovan Peoples-Jones with a reception of 12 yards. So now Cleveland has the they now have the momentum, but now can they punch it in? Can they actually get this time?
The quarterback just says, "Hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here." And the end result there,
1st and 10.
nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
They hand it off to Sean Sanders. Gets about 3 yards on a cloud of dust.
2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
To throw on 2nd down. Black. A quick throw there is incomplete.
So many things have to go right for any pass.
Okay, there we go. All right, so 3rd and 7. I was answering a DM. 3rd and 7.
Something was off with that one.
And Louis LeBanquer is number 98 of the defense. 3rd and 7.
Back to throw. Black.
And a completion. And they get within the 10-yard line. They get into the 7, and a completion by Moore. 15 yards.
Conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
I mean, I imagine Azriel is like, okay, I got to find a way to get in the end zone and keep this game going. And they do. And they handed it off to Ford. Jerome Ford. And the Browns answer back. So this is going to be a close game.
8-9 yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we're running here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is
all right, so Cleveland with the extra point. It's good. Now it's 7-7.
A drive that time of 6 plays, and in the end it's capped off by a 7-yard run. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
Kicked it away. And, oh, we got a flag. What's this? Well, they got to the 35, but let's see where. Looks like it is a holding call on Musgrove. So that's going to send him back to the 17.
You work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. That often runs you into a penalty.
So they'll start at the 17. All right, 2 minutes and 21 seconds and counting. Jones gets 7 yards on it. 2nd and 3. And unless they run another play, we'll get the 2-minute warning.
Staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it. 7 yards on 1st down. That fits the bill.
2 minutes on the clock.
All right, 2-minute warning. And we have a 7-7 tie. Anyway, there's Azriel, or Atticus Black, excuse me, number 86. Number 82 is
now 2nd and 3.
Is Brandon Cuevas.
Looking to throw. Black. That's taken in. Dontavian Wicks.
Dontavian Wicks with a catch for 10 yards.
Before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
That's the thing about Brandon, is that he is a reliable target, so he does open things up for the other wide receivers.
Here's 1st and 10.
All right, 1st and 10.
Back to throw. Black. Throw left side complete. That's Jones. And he went nowhere.
Well, that was to Jones, Aaron Jones, but unfortunately that results in a loss of a yard and a tackle for loss by Harris. That's one thing that you don't want to do if your Green Bay is, do a screenplay, especially if Green Bay is Cleveland is anticipating it. So yeah, if you're going to do a screenplay, you better have the timing and the blocking, because if you don't, you're going to get either a no gain or a loss of a yard or 2. Maybe even worse.
2nd and 11.
Not saying it doesn't work. It does work. It just has to work
Operating from the gun.
when least suspected.
Slant route, he's got Dobbs.
Well, Dobbs does get 10 yards on that reception, and it's a timeout being used up.
As they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Take a look here.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
All right. All right, for 3rd and 1 at the 43. Atticus with a completion, and he gets it to, I believe that was Aaron Jones. And better yet, not only do they get a first down, he goes out of bounds to stop the clock so they can keep their 2 timeouts going. So it looks like Green Bay is going to try to get a last-minute score before the half.
Do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Atticus with a completion.
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
All right, so 1st and 10, 41-yard line. Past midfield.
Back to throw again.
Another completion. And again to Dobbs. Now Green Bay has 1 timeout that they can use.
11, first down.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
And, well, they only get 2 yards on that one. Let's see, are they going to call timeout to, call a timeout at around, oh, never mind, they call it with 10 seconds left. I honestly thought they were going to call it with 3 seconds left to kick a field goal, but anyway. Oh, and then Arkham says, okay, Brandon, and by Brandon he's probably meaning Brandon Cornwell. Any other tags I can use to find her?
And this will be a 45-yard attempt.
And, oh, that was a little bit short.
He couldn't get it there. It's no good.
Oh, Patty, I mean, it was well kicked. It just hit the crossbar. How's it going, Wally?
Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
Yeah, just a little bit higher. I mean, because it was on target, but just a little bit more higher on the trajectory and a little bit more depth, and that would have been it. Now, Asriel Black with 1 shot. Going Hail Mary. No. Well, at the end, no harm, no foul. 7-7. Yep. Yep, there's Wally the Hulk Johnson, or Walter, but most people call him Wally.
All right, Brandon, back to you two in just a bit. But first, welcome everyone to downtown Orlando and our EA Sports.
Anyway, there you see the touchdown from earlier for the Packers.
We have not been disappointed, but they are all even to this point. So to see if either side can pull away, let's get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the start of the second half.
All right, Coach,
well,
thanks.
I will say this, though. Atticus was spot on when he said that it became a battle of the defenses and that it was going to come down to which defense was going to crack, or rather which offense was going to crack the code. Well, each team was able to crack the code 1 time for a touchdown apiece. And right now, it is a close game, but we all know it could all go one way or the other. So far, a great game, but like anything else, anything can happen. All right, so Cleveland is going to kick to Green Bay to start the second half. Takes it out. And they get to the 30. That's a good return there.
The Packer offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. And through one half at least, this Super Bowl has been everything it was cracked up to be. All tied. What's your key for them, Charles, in the second half?
Simplicity, partner, because in the Super Bowl, with the extra time at halftime, I think some staffs get caught up in trying to design too many things. It's all tied up. They have to remember what they did to get here, put that back into play here in the second half.
All right, so 1st and 10.
On first down.
And Atticus with a completion.
That's complete.
And manages to get to, I believe that was Aaron Jones? I couldn't see from that. Oh, no, well, I'm sorry. That was Brandon Cuevas with his first catch. Okay, so Brandon was the guy that got the first catch, and that's not a bad first start for Brandon to get his first reception.
Second and a couple.
And if you're Atticus, you're going to need his help going in.
Off the option, it's Jones.
Jones with another run.
To the 43-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does.
But yeah, next season will be the Who Wants to Be a GM edition. So far we have 10 people, or 10 GMs, so I look forward to what's going to happen when we get to that session. Of course, one thing I will do in the meantime and in between time is to go over with each GM in terms of, okay, well, what is the strengths of the team, which are the weaknesses of the team, and whatever the team would have to do in order to improve its chances of winning a Super Bowl that year. And a bit of a miscommunication there by Atticus, and an incompletion, 3rd and 5.
Absolutely, just needed a touch more.
And Primetime saying hello to everybody. I'll tell you what, Primetime in the short time, pun intended,
They come up now, 3rd and 5,
has proven himself to be a great champion. He was a fighting champion, and you know what? I give him credit for that. And did they catch it? Yeah, that was a catch. Great catch. I didn't see who caught it. Oh, that was Dobbs who caught it. Dobbs caught it, goes out of bounds, and that stops the clock. Great catch. Although, wait a minute. Cleveland is going to challenge whether it was in bounds. So the call on the field was that it was a clean clap, that it was that the receiver had possession. Okay.
Watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like
I want to say the receiver did have possession, but again, I'm not ruling in favor of or against. It's just, I'm just calling it like I see it. So, what's the call? Of course, what I'll do is make it much more simpler. I'll try to go over the ground rules as much as I can, but basically, there's a pool of 40 players. Well, minus the number of GMs that we have. Oh, yeah, of course. You have to have, trade, signing players. Oh, and drafting, too. That's another thing. Drafting. And then once you put your team together, then it's just may the best team win. Hey, great to see Sly Cooper. And I wonder, what if Sly could play football, what would he play? Or what position would he play? Oh, ooh, that was a bad pass, but incomplete.
Coverage there forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Cleveland made a challenge, but they lost it, and they also lose a timeout, and that could become critical later in the game if it should stay close. So, yep, Wally is on point when he says that.
Here's 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. 2nd and 10. Oh, fakes the handoff. And another completion. And Wicks fights his way to the 2. Well, now Cleveland in a lot of trouble. They're going to have to think of a way to stop Green Bay. Easier said than done, though.
Keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Excuse me.
Jones.
And Jones runs it in, and Atticus, I have to say, you're doing a great job feeding Aaron Jones.
Great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads.
Yeah, I could totally see him. He could be a kick returner, punt returner, a nickelback. And by nickelback, you're talking about either a corner or a safety, one of those ones. Or that's a halfback or a running back, and WR, that's a wide receiver. But I could also see him as a kicker and a punter too, because as the saying goes, if you can kick some ass, you can kick a ball. And Carmelita Fox, right or wrong, does Sly Cooper kick some butt or what? I don't expect her to answer, but anyway, the kick is good. The Packers take the lead, and once again, Cleveland will have to answer. Oh, yeah.
So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. This taken in right around the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter.
All right, so Azrael coming in, and he's done this before. I mean, he did it against the Commanders when it was a back-and-forth game, but now his team is down, and there's still a lot of time to go. It's just now.
To the top performers you have, and try to move that ball down the field for an answering score.
Well, they tried to go for a run, but Green Bay was not fooled. And a nice tackle by number 52. I can't see his name. I believe that was Gary who got it. Nice tackle there. Well, now that Atticus is back on the sideline, how are you feeling about your chances, man? Though I don't blame you if you don't answer. It's just because I know that, Atticus has been down this road before. So I don't blame him if he doesn't say anything. It's all good. He'll probably say something later.
Back to throw. Black. And this incomplete.
But Carmelita would definitely be a kicker because she does a lot of roundhouse kick. See, yeah, I knew it. I knew he was not going to say anything. But it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, there you see Louis Levanguer, number 98.
That means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Going to focus on number 98.
Black. Escaping the pressure right.
Oh!
He will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete.
Nice follow-through by the Packers. The Packers just dominating on defense, folks. Hey, great to see Jamar, too.
Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Now fourth and 12. I mean, again, there's still enough time for them to get the ball back, so they still have that, but Mr. Vince kicks it, and they'll call a fair catch at the 39. In the Super Bowl, you have the Cleveland Browns and the Green Bay Packers. And, of course, it's the House of Black explode. I can't talk. So you have Atticus Black with Green Bay. And, of course, you have Azrael Black with Cleveland, the Browns.
Let's give credit where it's due because they've done an
But other
excellent
players
job
include Patty Chase on the Packers, Sean Sanders with the Browns.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that
Fakes the handoff.
And,
ooh, almost got picked off. But it's incomplete. 2nd and 10.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Throwing again on 2nd
And
and 10.
another bad throw. What's going on there, man?
But it's incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
All right, 3rd and 10.
Operating from the gun. Black.
Atticus gets flushed out of the pocket.
2nd down. This will be a Brown sack. Well, Zadarius Smith there.
Zadarius Smith with a sack. And that's a huge play for Cleveland. They needed something like that on defense.
And backing up, eventually dropped for a huge
Zadarius Smith with a big sack as he gets a whole lot of black. Atticus Black.
On now is the Packers punter as the drive goes backwards.
All right, so Patty back on the field. Kicks the ball away. And a fair catch called at the 29. Not bad.
Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. Cleveland offense making their way out. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive.
Sanders with a run. 4 yards for Sanders.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game. Trying to establish the inside
let me
run,
adjust my seat.
now. Hopefully get to the perimeter
And
later.
let me turn on the light. It's starting to get a little too dark here. There we go. All right, 2nd and 6. Completion, and did he get enough forward progress? He does. 1st and 10 at the 40.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might.
Nice catch there by Moore.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection.
Now 1st and 10 at the 40. They hand it off. And they gave it to Ford, although, wait a minute, we got a flag. That's our 2nd flag of the day. And what do we have here? Holding on Elijah Moore. Oh, my gosh.
Starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Oh, no, wait. Wait, did they... Wait, was that a... Well, that was accepted. I'm kind of surprised. All right, well, 1st and 8, though. That was kind of weird. But it's 1st and 8. They hand it off again. But this time they get no gain on that one. I'm kind of surprised they didn't... I'm not even going to question it. Not going to question it. 2nd and 8 now.
Out of the shotgun formation because the quarterback's not having much action where he's getting away from the line of scrimmage. He's catching the football, making a little head fake, and then handing it off. You should be able to read it as they did there.
Fakes the handoff.
Black.
Asriel? No.
Incomplete.
Another attempt,
He tried to go for another big shot, another long shot play, but it didn't work out.
Start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Oh, Brenda. Ooh, that's a good question, though. Oh, gets the pass off, but wait, great defense, though, by Nixon.
They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up fourth down.
That's a good question.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
And once again, they have to punt away to the Browns. And a fair catch called at the 20. Well, I'll tell you what, this is going to become a game of field position.
This crew had to punt last
is
time they had the ball,
is what this slowly but surely is turning into.
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
All right, 1st and 10 at the 20.
Throwing to start the drive. Black.
Atticus with a completion, and he got it to Wicks for 15 yards.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure.
All right, 1st and 10 at the 35. They hand it off, and Aaron Jones beasts his way for 9 yards and a 2nd and 1. Incredible.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball.
I mean, say what you want, Atticus, but I have to imagine you're very happy with Aaron Jones and his performance in the Super Bowl. And basically throughout this season,
to throw on 2nd down. Black.
In the lead up to it. And a completion.
It's Reed.
Nice catch there by Reed. I'm surprised nobody picked him up.
Second catch for him today.
1st and 10.
Up a first down.
Yeah, nobody picked up on Reed. It was all by himself.
From the shotgun to give to Jones.
And Jones gets 3 yards in a cloud of dust in this case.
Maybe 3.
2nd and 7.
Not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if
all
the
right,
legs are a
let
little
me
bit heavy. Sometimes
sit back down. All right, cool.
Doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
They hand it off again, although I believe Jones might have just tripped on one of his own teammates. So 3rd and 7 now.
First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Back to throw. Black.
And anticipated the blitz and got a first down.
But he does have
And Atticus does say something. He says, let's finish the job, Green Bay. Absolutely. And, of course, Atticus doing his part. But, yeah, great job there anticipating a blitz and getting the pass off to an open man.
Looking to throw.
First and 10. Oh, I mean, good throw, but couldn't secure it. Incomplete, second and 10 at the 31.
That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Third quarter, Super Bowl 58. Here's a second and 10 now. Back to throw. Black.
Although that time he caught it.
It's Reed.
And he got it to Reed.
First down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 12-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up first and 10. Looking to throw. Black.
And Atticus gets out of the pocket.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick
wow.
up decent yardage.
Nice awareness to get out of the pocket and get down for 7 yards. So now it's second and 3 at the 5. They only need to get to the 2-yard line just to get a fresh set of downs. I can't talk. Second and 3.
Looking to throw on second down. Black.
Atticus gets away the other way. Manages to dump it away.
Call it a gain of a yard.
But they only get 1 yard off of that. Wow. I mean, Atticus, let me, like, when was the last time that the Tigers made the playoffs? Because it's been a long time for them to make the playoffs. I mean, I know that they've had their fair share of droughts. Like my dad remembers, like, when they were a perennial team in the playoffs, like in the 80s. All right, so that's right. They were in the 2014 playoffs, but again, that was so long ago. In fact, bro, I remember it like it was yesterday. It was the 2014 World Series, and then Atticus has to throw it away. But no, I remember the end of that World Series and the Giants winning the World Series. It was just insane. Oh, wait a minute. Green Bay going to go for it. Let's see what happens here. They hand it off. And another touchdown. And now Jones doing his little dance. And Jones may be, he may very well become the MVP of the game. Jones.
You get down this deep, Charles, you hate to settle for a field goal. They roll the dice on fourth down, really just hoping to get that first. But as it turns out, they take it all the way into the end zone.
You mentioned that they took a little bit of a gamble there. Think about it this way. Most teams throw the ball in this situation in the NFL, so they really gamble with a running play, and boy, did it pay off.
Oh, yeah, it definitely paid off.
Point after here coming up.
Oh, that's awesome. And again, the fact that they've been out of the playoffs for so long, I'm happy for them. I really am.
And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run.
I really am happy for them. All right, so it's 21-7. And I mean, it's not over though. I mean, there's still 9 minutes and 53 seconds. So right now, Cleveland. Well, first and foremost, they got to score a touchdown. Then they got to get a stop and score another one. So it's not over by any stretch.
And not much
Anyway.
happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
And then, well, Brandon, can you provide Arkham your hashtags? I think you already gave them your hashtags, but
Super Bowl where look, they need points and they need them badly. Trailing here in the fourth quarter.
So that's what it was.
First and 10.
And the hashtag is his own name, Brandon. Okay, cool. All right, so Cleveland gonna run, and Sanders, that's his best run, 2nd and 1.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy
they hand it off again. And, oh, 3rd and inches.
They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look.
And a throw and complete. And Primetime's like, beat me the ball. Yeah, they're feeding you the ball, but they also have to feed everybody else the ball, just so that, you know, if all they do is feed you the ball, eventually Green Bay's going to know how to stop you. So there you go. A young oh, you mean Ezekiel Elliott? Yeah, I remember him. He was elite. Oh, and Azrael running away. Oh, what? Fumble! And now the Packers, wow!
46-yard line.
Darnell Savage with a fumble recovery. Oh my goodness! Green Bay just knowing how to break the hearts of the Cleveland Browns, man.
After a while, you start to wonder, does the running back coach visit the quarterback coach and say, hey, I can help you with this. We can protect this and make sure we keep the ball.
Oh. Yeah, well, if that was the case, you know what? Kelly's the lucky one. She's lucky to have you. So it's like, well, hey, if inches don't matter, well, that's her loss. That's all I'm going to say.
The drive starts.
They hand it off.
And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. 7 yards.
But no, like out of character, like when it comes to the Super Bowl, I do remember that play. Like I remember watching it on television, like I was watching it on my box television back in the day. And just a few more inches, and the Titans win the Super Bowl. And really, the greatest show on turf falls short. So there's that. Anyway, nice catch there by Brandon Cuevas.
Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is.
There you see Brandon. Well, I know you're not going to say much about this, Atticus, but I have to think that you're just as proud of Brandon, as even though Brandon only has 3 catches, he's coming up big. Now, obviously, if you're Green Bay, the last thing you want to do is commit foolish turnovers, and then all of a sudden Cleveland gets back in.
And that'll make it 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches.
Yeah, I mean, those two teams had 2 head coaches that were always accused that couldn't win the big one. I mean, for the Rams, it was Dick Vermeil, and for the Titans, it was Jeff Fisher. And in fact, they even did like the NFL Network did a top 10 of the coaches that were very successful that couldn't win the big one. And somebody made it a point that Dick Vermeil could have easily have been on that list and not, Jeff Fisher. Oh, wow! Wow, not only does he catch the ball, but he manages to avoid the tackle and gets a couple more yards to the second. You got to love the second effort there. And by Brandon Cuevas, too. Yeah, of course, you have to be proud of the defense, and you also have to be proud of special teams, keeping it consistent. You know what? Like, if Coach Reed can do what Belichick never did, and that is win 3 straight Super Bowls, he will definitely have that. Yeah, exactly. I just said that. Oh, no, wait. What happened there? A face mask. Oh, dear. Cleveland is falling apart. Or in the words of Zebrahead, everything's falling apart! Everything's falling up. I'm sorry. I had to. Yeah, that kind of shows my age a little bit. If you remember that song, "Falling Apart." And heck, I'm not even a big fan of Zebrahead, but I do remember that song because it was featured on a colleague.
Back to throw. Black.
Oh, what? Intercepted!
Picked up by Denzel Ward.
Denzel Ward, well, he's keeping Cleveland alive.
First and goal, and they throw the interception.
That's 2 interceptions for Atticus going in the end zone. How is this possible?
There was no sense in trying to force something. Instead, they turned the ball over.
Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. The interception was a great starting point, but now they're getting points pretty quickly down 2 scores.
And I will say this, though. At first I thought it was Bill, but then when Brady won his 7th Super Bowl, that's when it hit me. That's when I was like, and not only that, in the few years that followed, it then hit me. It was like, well, maybe it was Brady that was the more successful half of that equation.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop.
Wait, the artificial idiot.
His carries tonight.
Who's the artificial idiot?
Up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
Anyway, 2nd and 10 for Cleveland at the 20.
You come back and you fake it to him and go play action, but other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
But no, Brady was the more successful half of that equation, and the fact that he was able to win with Bruce Arians, that's insane. But as insane as that is, a sack by Preston Smith. Preston Smith coming up huge. And now Patty's getting concerned. It's like, leave Azrael alone, Atticus. Well, hey, that's... I mean, this could have just as easily happened to Atticus, too. I honestly... And of course, Munchie's actually doing a great job, but it's just... She can't do it all by herself. She can only protect Azrael for so long, and the other linemen have to step up their game. Anyway, 3rd and 18.
Looking to throw.
Azrael Black going long. Well, not like that, but instead cannot get anything going.
And now 4th down.
4th and 18.
Right there on 3rd down, like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
And cannot do it.
They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. But down 2 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to go for it. They must have thought they had a play to dial up that they could get it. It didn't work out.
They must have thought, as you pointed out, they had a play, and they were probably looking at the number of possessions that they thought were left in the game. And down 2 scores, it must have felt like they couldn't risk not taking a shot here and giving up that chance.
Yeah, I could see that. Okay. All right, so first and 10, and Green Bay takes over at the 12. I guess really the only thing that's left for Atticus to do is another sack for Zadarius Smith. I mean, Cleveland has more sacks, but you don't win the game by having more sacks. You win the game by having more points, and that's the only thing that is keeping this from being a blowout are those sacks and the interceptions. But instead, well, I guess Atticus gets a little bit from Cleveland. All right, 2nd and 14. So again, can Atticus score a touchdown? Well, now Cleveland's starting to dial in on the run game too. But again, this could just as easily be a case of too little, too late.
Has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
And a completion, however, just short of a first down at the 6. Well, I think we might see Patty get a field goal. I mean, she already has 3 extra points. Your son's team? Awesome. Oh, I guess, you know, it's a good time as any to go over the ground rules, at least when it comes to the draft, because each team gets X amount of picks. It just depends on, one, the number of teams and the number of players in the pool. But each team gets at least 1 free agent signing that they could also use to trade for more picks, or they can trade for free agent signings, really. I guess another way to look at it is you would treat it like the free spin in old school Wheel of Fortune. Because before they had the free play space, there was a space on the wheel called free spin, and that if you landed on it, you would get a free spin. In the event that you called out a wrong letter, you landed on bankrupt or lose a turn, or you missolve the puzzle, and you can then use it. It's a lot like that. I mean, I'll go over the rules more and more, but it's a lot like that. Anyway, 1st and 10 at the 24. I mean, of course, with 10 GM, so that's minus 10 players out of a pool of 40. So that means each team would have 3 picks. And again, just like in the draft, you can trade those picks for you know, you would be able to trade for either other players, or, and by other players I mean like the created players, not the in-game players. I don't want to confuse the issue, but those are just some of the things I'll mention.
This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the.
But anyway, I forgot to mention, Patty just got herself a field goal, so Patty has 6 points.
Can really generate big plays for an offense.
And now Azriel going for a throw, and that was a risky play. Incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
They hand it off, And Ford gets a first
Able
down.
to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the
Taylor
lead.
Heineke?
They're playing for the pass first.
Oh.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
A high snap, but manages to make the best out of it. And a 6-yard gain. But, of course, time is running short.
He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field, but his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Draw play to Ford.
Ford with a couple of successful runs. Although I have a feeling that Green Bay is allowing this to run out the clock, which is not a bad strategy on their part. I mean, even if they get even if they get first downs and even if they get a touchdown, that's going to burn some clock.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Back to throw. Black.
And, well, an incompletion. 2nd and 10 at the 49 or past midfield.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Black.
And Azriel gets flushed out of the pocket and a completion to Donovan Peoples-Jones, and that's the 2-minute warning. So unless Cleveland can score what is it? It would be unless they can score a 21-point touchdown in 2 minutes, a champion will be crowned in Green Bay. Oh, awesome. And incomplete. 4th and 1.
How about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on.
And they're going to go for it. Surprisingly, are they going to run it?
Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
And did he catch? He caught that. Unbelievable. All right, 1st and 10 at the 34. Okay. I see you. Well, I guess Cleveland wants to make the score a little bit more tolerable, but still.
They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
On 1st and 10, Black. This short pass into the hands of Njoku.
Nice play by Njoku to get it to 2nd and inches, but
coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there.
But I will say this, though. It's fair to say that, Atticus, you've been chasing that Super Bowl for so long. And so has Patty. Like, how do each of you feel winning the Super Bowl? Because Azriel did win a Super Bowl one time with, I want to say it was with the Dallas Cowboys one time. Correct me if I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, please let me know.
Pick up a first down.
Now they got to get to the line quickly. On 1st down.
But then Azriel with another completion. Oh yeah, that's right. You won with Carolina. of course, that was when they still had Cam Newton, albeit the remnants of that team. And then you won again with Arizona. But it is the first one in a long time because you didn't win a championship during the Madden 22 era.
Over the middle, complete. It's Ford.
So, you know, it's the first one in a long, long time. All right, so Cleveland will take a timeout.
The second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Okay, so, but for Patty, this is her first one. And I want to say congratulations to Patty. And congratulations to, I think, oh, whoa, manages to get away from one, but then intercepted. Quay Walker with an interception, and that's going to ice the game. Now, I mean, of course, if Cleveland decides not to use their timeout, that'll do it. But if they do, that's only going to delay the inevitable. So, anyway, great play there by Quay Walker. I mean, a complete game by Green Bay. I mean, it was tied 7-7 going into the second half, but Green Bay pulled away and are about to seize the day. But for Brandon, I believe this is his third or fourth. I want to say it's his third. And for Louis Levanguerre, this is definitely his second because he won one with New Orleans. All right, doesn't look like they're going to use it. All right, cool. All right, here we go. 2, 1. It's over. The Green Bay Packers.
Is going back home. The Green Bay Packers are your Super Bowl champions.
The Green Bay Packers are the Super Bowl champions. And for the Packers in the Madden series, they haven't won it since the very first one. And that was back when they had Aaron Rodgers, but no. This is the Packers' first championship since the season one. Since season one of the Madden series. And Atticus is going to get his diamond ring, as is Patty.
Absolutely amazing. The task. Incredible.
And for Brandon, he gets his third. And for Louis Levanguerre, he gets his second. His first with the Packers in this case. And I don't you guys can't see it, but Azrael is giving Patty the celebratory kiss. And then Liliana is kissing Louis Levanguerre, their boyfriend and girlfriend. But Aaron Jones, of course, naturally is the MVP of the game, and you know what? He deserves it. He definitely worked hard to get that. Yep, Jones is up there. There's Atticus. Looks a little bit different because he has a buzz cut and a shorter beard. And I believe, is that... Okay, I wasn't sure if that was Brandon Cuevas, but no. That was another person, though. But in this case, the Packers do get the job done. We'll take a look at some of the stats. And some of those include... I mean, the score is one thing. I mean, Packers had the most offense. Browns had the most rushing yards. And, of course, the first downs definitely do a lot. Kick return yards, oh, yeah, that it belonged to the Browns, but couldn't make do with that. And then, oh, yeah, time of possession. Packers got that one. And, of course, Atticus was the better quarterback, although both guys finished below 90, so passing wasn't one of those things, but not a problem. And again, I'll reach out. I'll reach out to you, before the drafting process and the GM season begins, the first of them. Of course, Sean had the most attempts, of course, and both he and Aaron Jones had the same amount of yards. Whereas Azriel Black had the most yards per carry average. He only had one carry for 22 yards. So, but Aaron Jones had 2 touchdowns, so that's something. Let's see, 111 yards for Romeo Doubs. Dontavion Wicks had the most yards per reception average, and nobody got a touchdown. All right. And then when it came to blocking, wow, Zach Thomas. I'll tell you what, though, had the game been a much closer affair, I have a feeling that Zach Tom would have been blamed for it because he allowed 3 sacks. Unbelievable, man. Well, you can say what you want. You can say what you want. It's fine. But you only have 21 subscribers, so, get yourself to 2,000 subscribers, and then we'll talk. So, anyway. So, Quay Walker had the most tackles total. Okay. And Harris and Newsome had the most tackles for loss. But Zadarius Smith had the most sacks, 2.5. And 4 guys had 1 sack. Or 1 interception. I was so bad. I was so focused on burning him, I forgot to keep track of what I was saying. No, 4 guys had an interception apiece. Cool. And then, of course, Keyshawn Nixon had a forced fumble, and Savage recovered a fumble. Okay. You're right. You're not going to argue with him, and I'm not going to argue with you. In fact, I'm not going to put up with it. So there you go. Have a nice day. So, anyway. Yeah, I was about to say, Madden 25 is not out either, so even if I wanted to, there you go. Now, even though Patty had the most... I was a little bit too far. Yeah. Okay, so Patty had 1 field goal and 3 extra points, so that's 6 points for Patty. And 1 point for Vince, so there you go. I mean, of course, both these punters had at least 3. Vince had the most, but that's not a good stat. And, of course, Sean Sanders had the most yards overall. And then punt return yards, not very many. All right, that's going to do it. I was going to let him off easy, but, it's like, come on, man. Really? But that's going to do it. That's going to do it. So, I'm going to get the thing set up for next season, and then I'll reach out to the general managers on, like, for each of their teams, like what are their strengths, like what positions are they more or less set at, and which positions do they really need. So if they have to play as one of them or they have to draft for him, I will provide that. And then when it comes time for draft, I will let you know. And also the draft order is based on the results, the regular season results plus the postseason results from last season. So, for example, let me see, what's a good one? Oh yeah, the Carolina Panthers. As you know, they had the worst record in the league last year. So by default, the Carolina Panthers get the first pick in the draft. And it works its way down. And then among the playoff teams, the further you make it into the playoffs, the later you pick. So obviously, if you are, let's see, of the teams that made it and how far they did, well, the Packers, the Cowboys, and the Dolphins made it in, but they didn't really go that far. But let's say if one of those teams was the Chiefs, for example, then of course they would pick dead last because, well, they are the champions. So that's how the draft order is going to work on that one. But instead, I will say that. But instead, or not instead, but for now, I should say, I can't talk. I had a nice meal, by the way. It's just that sometimes the weather can affect my brain a little bit. But I'm going to get some rest, obviously. But, you know what? I want to say congratulations to Atticus, to Patty, to Louis Levanquer, and Brandon Cuevas. But also congratulations to all the other teams that were in this show or this season. But now that the fun is done, it's time to get to work. But I'll also get to work on the card for Summer Splash as well, behind the scenes. But for now, this is the Blue Toad to Jew 22 signing off. And I will see you next time. And I'll keep you guys posted. I might decide to do a pre-show of Summer Splash on Friday or Thursday. I'm probably going to aim for Friday because, as we all know, Friday we don't have to worry about work or getting up early to go to work or anything like that. But I'll keep you posted in case anything else changes. But until then, to Jew 22, signing off. Have a good night, everybody. But just know, this is my name. Have a good one.